Welcome, everybody, to episode 43 of UnHacked. Hey, we've got a special guest today who is going to finally crack the code on how you can actually unhack somebody once they've been hacked, because like we always say, the easiest part of cybersecurity is fixing the problem after it's happened. Correct or false? All right.
True.
Funny.
I know.
Funny.
I'm going on a comedy tour circuit here pretty soon. Guys, week after week, we sit here and we break down cybersecurity incidents, best practices, procedures, all the fun, exciting stuff that we all wanted to know when we got into business. We knew this is what we were up against, fighting Russian hackers. That's why we all got into business. And so here we are breaking it down, helping businesses fight this battle that never ends, gets worse and worse. But here's the one statistic that I hold to: 97% of breaches could have been prevented if we just do the basics. So we are going to learn a little bit more about, the basics change, fair enough. But we're going to get into some AI security today. We dabbled with AI last year, mostly about last episode, about how we can improve our business processes, procedures, output, stuff like that. And today we've got a special guest who's going to dig into the really exciting world of security where AI is concerned. I am Justin Shelley, CEO of Phoenix IT Advisors, and I protect businesses from getting hacked by the Russians and others, from getting audited and fined by the government, and finally from getting sued by the lovely attorneys who like to come and pour salt in the wounds. That's what I do, and I work with clients in Texas, Utah, and Nevada, and I am here with my normal co-hosts, Bryan and Mario. And like I said, our special guest, Bryan, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself? Tell the world who you are, what you do, and who you do it for.
Fantastic. Yes. Hi, I'm Bryan Lachapelle with B4 Networks. We're based out of the beautiful Niagara region in Ontario, Canada, and we support businesses through all of the Niagara region and Simcoe regions. We help businesses with two things. One, getting rid of the frustrations, headaches that come along with dealing with technology. And two, we help business owners on their journey to leverage technology to improve operations, be it security and or in production or operations.
Good stuff. And I'm sure AI is playing a huge part of that.
Yes, it is.
Mario, same question for you. Who are you? What do you do? And who do you do it for?
Mario Zaki, CEO of Mastech IT. We are located in New Jersey, servicing the New Jersey and New York area. And we specialize in working with small to medium-sized businesses to keep their networks and their data protected. And we specialize in providing, CEOs the opportunity to sleep better at night.
I love that. Sometimes that takes a pill. I don't know. Listen, the world's scary. I don't sleep well, so every time you say that, I'm just like a combination of happy and defeated. All right, guys, we are here this week with Alec Crawford. Alec, thank you so much for being here today.
Yes.
All right, I'm gonna read your bio. I'm not great at reading under pressure, so I should have told you beforehand. Record your bio in some famous person's voice and bring that with you. Otherwise, you're dealing with this. All right, here we go. Alec Crawford founded and leads Artificial Intelligence Risk Incorporated. Quick pause. Alec, your website, I kept getting it wrong. Tell me your website address.
Yeah, it's AIC for corporate risk.com.
All right. Okay. AICrisk.com. And this company accelerates Gen AI, generative AI adoption through a platform ensuring AI safety, security, and compliance. Correct? Perfect.
Absolutely.
For what we're talking about here today. All right.
Yeah.
And you guys achieved the top rank for both Gen AI cybersecurity and regulatory compliance from Waters Technology. What is Waters Technology?
Yeah, so they're a company that focuses on financial firms. They do consulting. They review different companies, software companies, and figure out like what works and what doesn't work. So obviously what we do works.
You climb to the top of the ranking, so that's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
Let's see. So in addition to that, you're an AI investing and risk management expert. I'm interested to learn more about that. You share insights through various media, rich history of leadership roles, including at Lord Abbott and Company, LLC. What'd you do there?
I ran risk management and part of technology, and including the we called the Advanced Technology Initiative, which included AI, big data, unstructured data, fun stuff like that for investors.
Okay. You've worked for small companies like Goldman Sachs?
Yeah,
Morgan Stanley
companies. Yeah. Deutsche Bank. Yeah, little startups. Yeah.
Anything you want to say about those?
Yeah, look, I think AI is really taken off at the banks now too, and it's going to be super interesting because they're obviously doing a lot of things themselves, right? They're obviously buying or using the big base models like OpenAI for most of them. Although I think Citibank has partnered up with Google, but everything else they're kind of doing themselves.
Okay.
But the use cases there are pretty amazing. Like my understanding is one of the big banks now has something that will create a mergers and acquisitions pitch deck, right? So it'd be like this company buys that company, make a deck. And it makes this 100-page presentation,
Oh, wow.
VP reads through, goes, yeah, that looks good. And then they're off to the races, so pretty wild. They can do that much stuff by itself.
And now when that 100-page document is presented, do they use AI to go ahead and read it and filter through it and boil it down to one page?
That's what I would do, but
Me too.
Me too.
Give me 100 pages. There's no way I'm reading that, but that's pretty cool.
It's like the it's like the Susan B. Anthony story, right? Do you know that story?
No.
So there's a whole research report on should we make the Susan B. Anthony dollar, right?
Okay.
And it goes on, and the entire document basically says bad idea, bad idea, bad idea, bad idea. But there's a typo on the last page. Instead of saying we should not make the dollar, it says we should make the dollar. And of course, the head of the mint at that point flips the last page and goes, oh, okay, we should make the dollar, having read nothing in the entire thing. And that's how the Susan B. Anthony dollar was minted and became a giant flop. So, yeah.
Well, I was going to say it became a highly desirable. Because it's rare, right? So now
it's exciting. Back
Yeah.
then when it came out, it's like, what
Nobody
are
wants
these
that.
things?
they
Like,
look
who
like
wants
quarters.
that?
They're
Yeah,
dumb.
exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
I feel like at some point AI is going to just sell to AI, and there's just
I
gonna go
know.
back and forth, and
We'll just be out of the picture altogether.
yeah.
We're going to be
Yeah.
on a beach sipping margaritas. That's what we're going to be doing, hopefully.
Hopefully. Yeah.
Alec, you've been around. I don't want to date you. I think we're all relatively old men here. But you've got a degree
Mm-hmm.
from Harvard
Yeah.
specializing in artificial intelligence. Is that correct?
Yeah. So I was
Real quick, because I'm pretty sure artificial intelligence just came out like a year or two ago.
Oh, totally. Yeah. It was it came at the Dartmouth conference in 1956 is when people kind of conceived of this.
Okay.
And then by the 1980s, it was doable, right? Like I was building neural networks from scratch in 1987 and teaching computers to play poker, to bet, to bluff, how many cards to draw, that kind of fun stuff. Now, poker bots are the best players in the world. They beat the world champions, right? So back then, we obviously realized, like, not quite enough computing power, not enough memory, and dived into the AI, the snowbank of the AI winter in the 90s. But the techniques are still very similar. It's just, instead of having, a million nodes, you've got billions and billions of nodes, and that's what kind of makes it work, as well as the invention of the transformer.
Well, I don't want to brag, but I was sitting in a college class back in the day. I will date myself. It was 1995. And my computer science 101, might have been 102, or I don't know, but computer science class, my professor was up there talking about artificial intelligence. My eyes glassed over. I'm like, whatever, this guy's dreaming. I don't even know what he's talking about. That was my introduction to AI, and I immediately dismissed it. So yeah, they've been working on it for a hot minute, and now it is the buzzword of the day, of the hour. I mean, it's all we're hearing about. So thank you again for joining us, and let's jump into the funnest topic that any of us have ever contemplated in our lives, which is cybersecurity. Why is cybersecurity something that we need to tie in with the exciting world of AI? Just generally speaking, why?
Yeah, I mean, we look at one aspect, which is the bad guys are using AI against us now, right? So they're drafting the world's most amazing, spear phishing emails. Oh my God, yeah. Oh look, it's a sale at LLB. Like, quick, I gotta log in, right? Whoops, you got hacked, right? And way worse. So let's dial it back a decade ago, right?